The thoughts, views, expressions, and opinions of this podcast, as well as its hosts, are for entertainment, educational, and informational purposes only. We simply want to encourage, shed insight, empower, equip, and inspire those who listen. We are not trained professionals or claim to be. It does not constitute or take place of actual advice from your doctor or therapist. We hope you enjoy the show. Thank you. Oh, wait. Actually, I want to do this because I want the people...
Okay, seriously, you're going to start off just like
I want the
I know for a fact you're not going to...
I want the people to listen to this guy and find him on TikTok. Do yourself a favor.
Oh, Little Mo.
Do yourself a favor, everybody. Go to TikTok and find... What's his name on...
Or delete TikTok.
Or find this guy named... Find this guy named Lil Mo Mozzarella. This guy's hilarious. If you're feeling blue, if you're feeling low, and you need a laugh in your life, go watch this guy. This guy's hilarious. I'm going to put him on. I don't want to blast it, though. All right, so he goes to a New York deli, and he starts ordering a deli sandwich. Hold on, ready?
Chicken call, pick out the nice ones. Then we're going to put the hot peppers and green ones like a gentleman. We're going to put a little fresh mozzarella. And what else are we doing?
Put some oil.
A little what oil? We said balsamic. We're gonna glaze them up.
Yeah, the oil balsamic, right?
Yeah, don't put too much. Make the bread soggy, Mo. Nice and nice, Mo.
Yeah.
I heard you make the best sandwich in the neighborhood. I want to see. I like all the thin ones, Mo.
Get some hot pepper.
I apologize
Got a
for
little
everyone
fresh
who
mozzarella.
Fresh mozzarella, right on top. Hot gabagool.
You want a little gabagool?
Gabagool.
Put a little thin slice of gabagool on the top.
Some hot peppers, some chicken cutlets, some balsamic
You
glaze.
fold it up. Let's go. I gotta go. Today, not tomorrow. Forget the bet.
This guy's amazing. I love this guy. But yeah, do yourself a favor and go follow that guy on TikTok. He's amazing. He's supposedly a comedian or up-and-coming comedian, but he has a social media following. He has like 500,000 followers on TikTok. He's doing the darn thing. He's not a friend of the show. I don't know why I'm promoting him. I just laughed a lot. And I'm from New York, and I've actually been around Italians that sound like that order their sandwiches like that. So that's why I found it so hilarious. But how's everybody feeling today?
Great. Yeah.
It's a Tuesday disguised as a Monday. I'm not a fan.
It's a Tuesday disguised as
You know what,
Monday.
you're right.
Yep.
I agree.
Short weeks are pretty brutal for me. That was the Holy Ghost, bro. He just went and touched the side wall and things started coming down.
First off,
Are you having trouble with the mic there, buddy?
no, I'll fix it. Don't worry about it.
All right.
I'm 7 at a time.
Okay.
Like I told you, it's just not my day.
Okay.
I'll fix it. Don't
You're
worry.
good, right?
I'm Gucci. Oh, well, I mean, ask me in 3 years.
Ask you in 3 years. Are you going through a midlife crisis already, bro?
No, of course
No?
not. No.
All right. But anyway,
I'm gonna be Javi and hold the
did
mic
you
like
guys
this.
enjoy your long weekends, though? Did you guys enjoy your long weekends, or?
I worked Saturday, so kind of not really, but it's okay because Marla's best friend was in town, so the girls got to hang out and do some stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
We went to the Heat game.
I did see that.
Went to the Heat game. It was Dwayne Wade night where they announced they're gonna put an 8-foot bronze statue in front.
Oh yeah,
of the,
Dwayne Wade's getting a statue.
He's getting a statue.
He's getting a statue.
He's getting a statue. Pat Riley came out during halftime and was just like, "Hey, da 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 da." Oh yeah, by the way, we're building you a statue.
But I mean,
Wow.
honestly, as a fan though, like I'm a New York Knicks fan, but I do love Dwayne Wade. I've always loved Dwayne Wade. I think I started liking Dwayne Wade when I started seeing him when he was playing in Marquette. And if one player deserves a statue, it's definitely Dwayne Wade. Like he changed the culture here. He made like the franchise a winning franchise. He has a winning attitude. He's all about, being a winner. So I like that. Dude, you are messing up my microphone.
It's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on right now. But yeah, that's awesome that he's getting a statue. He's
getting a statue.
Yeah.
So that, and the game was fun. It was versus Charlotte. We had like nosebleeds, but like it was still, it didn't matter.
I mean,
you
even
felt
if
the
you
energy in the
you
whole
were
air.
falling like when you're up there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's the only thing I hate about
100%.
that. It's like,
Especially
Why
since
lean
two of us were
forward
over
just a
6
little
foot,
bit?
like you definitely felt like you were going to fall over.
I know it.
It was great. But you know, the game was fun.
Yeah.
Actually got home at a decent time.
Yeah.
Which we were very thankful for.
Because we did not get home in a decent time when we went to the Dolphin game.
No, we did not. That was
rough.
That was a rough night.
Yeah.
The next day,
I'm
was
so
rough, too.
glad that you were driving that night, bro, because I was like not.
I am the only one who stayed awake.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
Every single person in that car fell asleep,
Yeah.
except for obviously me, which thank God I was driving.
Yeah.
right.
But I mean, I've done drives to Disney and back in the same day, so that Dolphins game was nuts.
But that traffic is like Miami
It's disgusting.
traffic is great.
I literally looked around and I said, guys, do not judge my salvation. Do not pay attention to my driving for the next 30 minutes.
I know.
Right.
I absolutely drive like a maniac. 110%.
Yeah, I kind of drive crazy too. Adelise be hounding me on that. She's like, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God, I didn't see that car." I'm like, "I saw it though, and I'm driving." Like, but yeah, it's the NYC way.
But
when
then
it comes to driving.
Then Monday, went shooting.
Oh, you went shooting?
Went shooting, yeah.
Nice.
That's fun.
Got to shoot my own gun. Got to shoot a friend of ours.
Yeah.
And
you
then-
gotta go to my boy's
What kind of
range,
gun?
bro.
And then we did clay shooting.
Okay, cool. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's actually a place like off North Lake,
Uh-huh.
but North Lake
Oh, like Beeline, right?
west. No. Beeline is still east.
So west.
This is west.
Okay, I got
This
you.
is west.
Gotcha.
With literally west to North Lake, literally ending. It's just like a dirt road.
Nice.
You take a right, and then you go up like another 2.5 miles, and then it's just like it's a brand new facility, so it's really nice. So
It's outdoor.
It's outdoor. Mhm.
Yeah.
You got to take like a little 10-minute video class and just pay attention to safety rules, whatever.
Right.
But it was fun. It was good. I suggest anyone who has a gun or wants to go
Shooting.
like clay shooting or something like that.
Yeah.
Decent price. Don't have to bring a shotgun. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I suggest go try it out.
Nice. What about you? How was your weekend?
I was a little thickish.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, I was just.
Not the vid though, right?
No, remember I told you what happened at the ER?
Oh my
with
gosh,
the-
yes.
Yeah, so I
That's
was just
her, the
like
ER girl.
resting.
Oh, you're the ER girl.
I'm the ER girl.
Yeah,
It's
she's
me.
the girl that was supposed to be
It's
here last
me.
week.
It's me.
And then she dipped up. I'm just like, no, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
You're fine.
You're fine.
listen,
We still
your
had a
health
pod.
comes first.
We
Your health
Yeah.
comes first.
We still had a pod, and we had actually a good pod last. Like, it would have been better if you were here, obviously, but
100%.
yeah, but it was
Because
good.
it's terrible when it's just me and you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it was awesome though.
It was.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So you didn't watch it?
So you
or
were
listen to it?
recovering from that whole thing.
I was recovering. I was literally resting. I don't think
Yeah.
I had ever had 3 days in a row where I was just laying down, resting.
Wow.
I didn't leave the house.
Nice.
Maybe
Well,
to
the weather
get
was
some
kind
smoke.
of crazy anyway.
The weather was stay home, watch movies, and cuddle. Weather.
Right, because it rained for 50% of, or maybe even 60% of Saturday. It rained. So I really didn't do anything. Yesterday I didn't do much. It was my day off, but I went to the gym. What did I do Sunday? Well, I went to church. That was pretty much it.
What did you do Sunday?
It wasn't really
Default
like
answer.
exciting, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
The weather definitely had a lot to do with it. And like lately, Florida's been having bipolar weather. Remember that cold front that we had not too long ago?
It's about to come back tonight.
Is it really?
Are
Are you preparing for the cold front? Because I see you got the bomber jacket going.
Listen, bro. I don't
She
get
got
to.
the sweater.
I do not
And
get
no,
to
it's
wear
cold in here.
my cool stuff at like that much. So if I can wear it,
I'm
absolutely can.
I'm actually wearing an Aaliyah. For those young lads out there that don't know who Aaliyah is.
Who?
Aaliyah.
Who?
The girl that's behind my shirt. That girl. R&B singer Aaliyah.
Sure.
Rock the boat.
I'm just gonna.
It's actually her
pretend you
birthday.
don't know what I'm talking
It's
It is?
It's Aaliyah's birthday today.
Oh,
so
happy birthday,
R.I.P. to
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah. And happy birthday, Aaliyah.
Yeah.
And for those that are old enough to remember Aaliyah, go ahead and,
Just like 1 in a million. One
yeah,
time.
1 in a million,
Just
one time.
One time
for the
Just
one time.
One time for the one time.
Rock the boat, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Age is nothing but a number. Okay.
Go ahead, hot like fire.
Yeah. I'm writing you.
Okay, 4-page letter. Go ahead and do the. Go ahead, you got it. Mm-hmm.
And And I enclosed it with a kiss. All right, Tyler's too young. We digress.
Too young, boy.
Were you raised in the 90s or in the early 2000s?
Bro, listen, I got to experience the real part of the 90s. So, yes.
The
I'm a
late-
real 90s baby.
Okay.
I'm a real
Wait,
91 baby. Let's go.
You were born in 91?
91.
Okay.
So, I got to, like I said, I got to experience the real part of the 90s.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's what's up.
So, don't call me young.
Okay.
My body definitely doesn't feel young.
Mm-hmm.
I had a. This is kind of funny. I had a detective come sit with me at work today, and we were talking. I was like, "Oh, you work for PBSO," and I was like, "Do you know?" And I threw this name out that someone who I used to go to high school with.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh man, love that person. Oh, let me see if they remember you." Text. It took like 10 minutes for the person to remember who I was. I'm like, all right, yep, I'm old.
Yeah.
It's been like 14 years since I talked to that person.
You had a knee injury too because of sports, right?
Yes, basketball. Thank you, Michael Golden, calling you out by name.
Yeah.
No, he knows. I call him up by name all the time on that. So yeah,
Because I remember playing ball with you and you had to wear a brace.
I still do.
Yeah, you still.
It's more psychological, to be honest. It's no, but because of how much pain I went through. The answer is like heck no.
Right.
Yeah.
Not doing that again. Not doing it again.
That's why I always give kudos to like real athletes out there because they have to endure like the length of an actual regular season. And I don't know how I can mentally and physically prepare for something like that, especially if you're in basketball and you got to play 75 plus games in a single season.
At a high level.
At a high level. I'm like, nah, I'm not built for that. Definitely not built for that. Speaking of basketball and football, Dolphin fans.
I know.
I'm sorry. Cowboy
fans.
I'm sorry.
I don't
Philly,
know.
I know y'all
what
Philly
happened.
fans are mad too. Philly fans are big mad right now.
Oh,
They got walloped by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, bro. What?
And you lost Jason Kelsey.
Yeah,
He's done.
You forced Jason Kelsey to retirement, bro. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Man, I never liked Philly to begin with.
And then Dallas may or may not.
It was like, did they even come to the game?
Right?
Like, did you even come? Hello.
Like Mike McCarthy was like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and run 3-4 on that. I'm like, Mike McCarthy, what were you doing, bro? Like Jerry Jones right now must have Bill Belichick on speed dial right now and be like, all right, we're gonna need a new coach. Bill Belichick just made himself available.
I'm wondering if Belichick goes anywhere.
Do
you think he's done, or do you think he goes somewhere?
I-
Because I heard that he's in talks, but I also heard that he's weighing retirement.
It probably got to be right for him.
Yeah, I gotta be right.
It has to
It's gonna be
right
real.
for him.
Yeah, I mean, because he had it good for so many years with Tom and the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like he had it real good.
But I feel like because I know he has an ego, that he wants to win one without Tom. Because Tom won one without him.
People's egos, man.
You know? So I think that he may want to coach for a couple of years just to get that one Super Bowl win without Tom Brady.
Nick Saban.
He's officially retired. Yeah, he's officially.
That's also crazy.
Yeah,
Never
he
thought that was
officially
going to happen. I
retired.
thought he was going to be in a wheelchair still coaching.
Yeah.
He'd be like a skeleton on the side.
Yeah, no, that I think
Run
Nick
for it.
Saban needs to retire. He's been in. I feel like he's been in football for like 3-4 decades now. I feel like it's
Not
crazy.
decades.
She's like, not decades, but yeah. Let's talk about some before we get into the nitty gritty of the conversation. Let's talk quick little pop culture stuff. We got Joe Coy. We got LilNasX. We got Kevin Hart talking about Joe Coy and his performance or hosting capabilities of the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes was actually a week ago. And this past weekend, the Emmys was popping, but I really don't follow the Emmys. I don't know if you.
I didn't really watch it.
Yeah.
But I saw that it was.
Celebrities who?
I was actually pretty fascinated by the uproar about Joe Coy's tasteless jokes, and I feel like comedians can't be comedians in today's day and age in 2023.
Yeah, everybody's so sensitive.
2024, like everybody's super sensitive. Everybody takes things with like this mind of like, how dare you, and you're a bigot, and you're racist, and you're insensitive, and all of these things. And essentially, like we grew up in the 90s, and in the 90s we had, Eddie Murphy, Bernie Mac, Dave Chappelle, I mean, the list goes on, and like if you look back at their old stuff, like especially Cat Williams' old stuff, they were ruthless. Like they were roasting everybody. They didn't care.
There was no line.
Nothing was.
There was literally no line.
There was no line.
Nothing was off the table.
And everyone was okay with it because everyone knew it was
just a joke.
It's comedy.
It's comedy.
It's comedy.
But that's the thing is, I think, and I stand by this, that comedians have more on a pulse of have their hand more on the pulse of society than almost anybody else.
That's true.
Because it's like once someone finds a line that they shouldn't, then everyone jumps on it.
Right.
So like he's for example, Matt Rife, his joke about supposed whatever it was, I don't even remember what it really was. He made some joke about someone on Twitter and they tried to cancel him. And then he's like, well, here's an apology to everyone. Yeah. And he put a link, and the link went to a website that sold helmets for special needs people.
It's for special needs people. That's crazy.
No lie. And it was tasteful, very tasteful how he did it. But but it's like people got mad at him for like doing jokes on Twitter. It's like, yo, you're messing with a comedian. Like, what do you expect? I
think the only comedian that I feel, two comedians right now, as of today, currently, that are uncancelable, if that's even a word, is Dave Chappelle.
I was going to say Dave Chappelle.
And Cat Williams, bro. Bro, ever since, and I thought we talked about this last week, but ever since Cat Williams... ever since Cat Williams, roasted the entire industry,
did that sit down?
No one can touch him.
No one really came up and said anything to defend themselves.
People have said stuff, but not to defend themselves. Right. They have just said stuff like trying to rebuttal with him, but not in defense of themselves.
I think there's a lot of... they're
treading, they're walking on eggshells when referencing whatever it is.
Honestly, and I'll ask you this because I already asked this to Tyler last week. I'll ask you this because you missed last week, so I'm asking you. Do you feel, because you saw most of the clips, right?
Yes, they were all over.
Okay.
That wasn't my algorithm.
Yeah, that was everybody's algorithm because he cracked the internet. So thank you, Cat Williams, for cracking the internet and giving me content.
All I saw on my
Appreciate
stories.
that,
bro. What the
so Cat Williams had said that Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey and all these people that he was essentially roasting and calling them out on their name. He did use a lot of hyperbolic language, but I think underneath that language, there was a lot of truth. Do you believe that there was truth in that?
Mm-hmm. I think there was truth in a lot of what he said.
Right. So when people defend the Steve Harveys of the world and the Tyler Perrys of the world, when people defend that, do you feel that the go-to is always, Cat Williams is XYZ, or he's a drug addict, or
they try to lowball him?
Right. That's kind of where I'm at.
Hit his low mark.
Yeah.
And that's their rebuttal to
right.
him.
So I feel like
that little A-lister, B-lister type of
stuff. And I think we have our low moments in life, right? I have my low moments, you've had your low moments, and it's funny how people
he said
my low moments is every day.
Right, but isn't it funny how people know about your low moments, and then years down the road when you have a bad day or a bad episode, they will define you from your past, and that they will define you from the person that you are no longer. Mm-hmm. If you're no longer that person in the past, they will find that and define you from what you are currently in. Mm-hmm. And I think that was a low blow that people were doing to Cat, because obviously Cat has grown and he's evolved to the person that he is today. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when they use Cat Williams' past and weaponize it to push this narrative to discredit what he's saying, I don't think that's fair.
It's not.
And that's kind of where I stand with that. But yeah, anyway, we digress. So what do you want to jump on? LilNasX real quick, because I'm sure people have seen his video.
Yeah, because everything else is you.
That was wild. I seen a clip. I'm like, what's happening?
It is wild. Mm-hmm. It is wild, and it's him trolling the Christian world. It's him mocking Christ. Let's be real. Mm-hmm. And it's because before it was like, okay, like, oh yeah, that's kind of pushing it, whatever, however you really know it. But now it's like, yo, this is like another level. Mm-hmm. This has gotten another level. I mean, it's gotten to the point where like John Cooper from Skillet called him out, pastors, some Christian rappers, all of them are like, yo, dude, you really need to repent from this. This is a line that you crossed.
Even like YouTube, like famous YouTube influencers and podcasters have even come out and like reacted to his rhetoric. Because essentially that's what it is at this point. Like, I think LilNasX has been trolling since the inception of what LilNasX is, and to the point where he was introduced to the masses. Like, me personally, I kind of felt like he was definitely wanted to monetize his content through shock value.
Yeah.
So he would.
What's the most shocking thing I can do to get the people talking? Right,
because I remember a year ago, there was something that leaked because a former high school student that was friends with him said that he's really not a homosexual.
That this is all a hoax.
This is all a hoax because he is wanting that genre, because that's the genre that will get him the most residual income and things of that nature. So essentially he was being called a queer bait. I didn't know what that was until I looked it up. Apparently what a queer bait is if you are a content creator, entertainer, musician, or anything in that realm, that if you do homoerotica things for shock value, but you're really not a homosexual and you don't live that lifestyle, you're queer baiting, because you just want the masses to react to that, to subscribe to that, and to essentially purchase your content, view your content, because now the biggest commodity and currency right now in this society is views. The more views and clicks you get, the more you're going to be rewarded by the social media platforms. So the more views, the more clicks, the more subscribers, you're going to monetize that and maximize that to make a living out of that. And I think LilNasX, to a degree, I feel like that's what he's been doing. I do understand that there's a side, I don't know if it's on his mom's side or his father's side, that are Christian. So the fact that he came out with that one music video 2 years or 3 years ago,
that other wild video,
where he was lap dancing with Satan,
went down the stupid pole to hell, and then the devil lap dance.
Right. So he's been on this for a minute ever since he came out with the customized Nike Air Forces, like the Satan.
That got him in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, remember that?
Lot of
trouble. What did he do?
He came out with a shoe that was like demonic themed with actual human blood in the sole. Because Nike did one where they had water from the Holy Land. They had water from like Israel in a shoe, and I forget what it was called. And like every big name pastor bought it or something like that. Yeah, but so he kind of played it off that of like, I'm gonna put human blood in it, and it was like all satanic and looking and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is
wild.
Yeah, I would say, well, hey, fun fact, selling bodily anything is illegal.
Right.
For the most part.
So yeah.
Let's not talk about the streamers. Anyways.
Yeah. So he's been doing it ever since day one, I feel like. So now I thought, he pulled a fast one on me, on most people, when he went on X, formerly known as Twitter, and he tweeted last year. Was it last year that he said, "Hey guys, I want to be on my Christian walk."
Let's look it up.
So he posted something on X last year, something in the realms of, "I'm now on my Christian walk, and I'm flexing my Christian," something.
This is what he said?
This is what he tweeted.
Okay, so fun fact, for LilNasX, he literally has a cross as his main thing.
Yeah, on his bio, right.
Mm-hmm. J Christ out now, Oh my God, which is his media.
Yeah. So he posted something last year that he's going to be on his Christian...
That was crazy.
Yeah, on his Christian walk.
That would have never happened at the Palm Beach County Clerk's office.
What? Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
That would have never happened there. You know how fast some deputies would have been on him?
Yeah, I heard. Well, let's sidebar for those that watch TikTok and Instagram that went viral, the infamous courtroom. The infamous hurdle
that man should have been in the NFL.
First of all,
to throw himself over that is an
was way back there,
Facts.
like from the podium to where the table that he was at, and then those podiums are high as hell. Did you have a running start? Like,
I mean, what trampoline did you jump off of? Because my man said,
first of all, like as soon as you, as soon as you would have said that. The deputies in Palm Beach County, you wouldn't even got close to the
the court hurdle that heard around the world, bro.
That was crazy.
And for those that were living under a rock a week or two ago, if you guys didn't see that, go ahead and Google it.
That was wild.
So basically, for those that don't know what we're talking about, it's a defendant that's before a judge wanting an answer for the motion that was submitted for his probation to be dismissed. The judge did not dismiss it. She didn't grant it. He got upset and jumped over.
Before she can even give a sentence.
He's like, he said, hell no. And he said, boop, and he just jumped over that.
Oh my gosh. And
that
she
bench.
I guess maybe she didn't think it was actually going to happen.
What are you doing? Stop.
It was the guy at the end getting his licks off.
Oh, yeah. He was getting his licks in. He's like, what the is wrong with you?
Oh my gosh!
And then when he got led, did you see when he got led back in?
Yeah, that he had.
When he got a different judge, he literally he was so chained up. He had like 7 cops around him,
right.
And he even had like the spit mask as well. Which I was like, bruh, you screwed up when you got that.
When you look like Hannibal Lecter going in a courtroom, bro.
The sad thing is that she probably not that she would have spared him, but like he probably wouldn't have had that much longer to go.
Oh no! She basically would have given essentially a slap on the wrist compared to what he has now. Now he had 16 counts.
Now you have all this other stuff. And it was a judge. Mm-hmm. It was a.
She gave him no. Marshal. She was just like this and this and this and then I was like, stop!
And
stop!
He was sentenced to 12 years, right?
For the aggravated battery,
right?
Not for. I know he was sentenced to like a year and some change for that aggravated battery. I don't know if he got sentenced yet because that would be pretty fast, to go through that. But I don't think he got sentenced yet for that.
Either way, he's doing some time.
He got his counts.
Yeah,
but
he's gonna be.
Either way, he's stupid.
He's stupid. He went. He went in like losing. It was a lose at that point after he did what he did.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Fun fact, LilNasX apparently posted an altered picture of him getting accepted into Liberty University.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he does a lot of stuff that just trolls people.
Yeah, he literally just said, he goes, I'm literally about to go to college for biblical studies in the fall.
Yeah. So he's been trolling.
And then he got community noted.
Yeah. So obviously he's been trolling, in particular the Christian community. He's been trolling, and some of these some camps in the Christian world do kind of take the bait and they go kind of left with their rebuttals too. And I'm not that Christian. I actually am one of those that actually pray for LilNasX. I actually do pray for that young man, because I think that he's in for a rude awakening because God allows things to happen. And I'm pretty sure God knows and is aware of what he's doing. And some of this stuff is pretty blasphemous. Some of this stuff is pretty out there. So I don't wish bad things upon people, but I do feel that he is in for a rude awakening. Like his time is coming. Like he's putting out so much energy out there that it's just going to kind of come back around him and kind of bite him in the ass kind of thing. Pause. So yeah, I think that LilNasX should definitely. You said it earlier off camera that he should repent.
He absolutely should repent.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and we said this off camera before, but this should almost in a weird way be expected, because even Christ was like, look, the world's going to hate you, but they hated me first, and it's like he knew that he was going to be in this position. Like he knew, like Christ knew that he was. I don't want to use the word oppressed. I'm trying to think of the other word, and I'm blanking on the word.
What word?
I don't know.
He's trying to think of it.
But I thought you said oppressed.
Yeah, I don't want to use that word because that's not really what I'm thinking.
Okay.
But the world is trying to
persecute.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There you go.
I'm a pastor.
And he's the pastor. 2 weeks ago, I saw him preach.
Yeah, so I can't even remember that. It's been a long day for me. So yeah, Christ is going to persecute. I almost said prosecuted. Persecuted. And this is on the world stage, and everyone's seeing this.
Yeah.
And I almost know. I don't want to say a weird way be encouraged, but it's like, hey, like this is showing where our society is going, and I think this is kind of becoming more and more so wake up calls for where we're headed, and people are starting to go, wait, like, whoa.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys though. So just throw a little not monkey wrench, but just throw a little whammy here for both of y'all.
Since when is anything a monkey wrench on this podcast?
So this is me just playing devil's advocate, no pun intended. Mm-hmm. But how do you feel about if it wasn't Christianity that he was mocking? What if it was another religion?
I think.
What if he was attacking like the Jewish community? You think it would have been buttoned up and shut down quicker?
I think right now, yeah. Especially with everything going on in Israel.
Yeah. I think maybe it depends on what exactly he was attacking. Like he said, maybe the Jewish community might have been shut down more quickly, but something else, maybe that's like less known of, a different type of religion, maybe not so much. But he wouldn't go for that. He's going to go for what's up there.
Yeah. More shock value.
What the majority of the world, believes in.
I mean, Christianity is made fun of more than anything else.
Right.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people are sensitive to the Jewish narrative because Kanye West was out there really stirring stuff up with the anti-Semitic stuff. And he was pretty much as close as being canceled as can be. I mean, he lost sponsorships, he lost deals, he lost all of these things. And I think if LilNasX would have attacked that again, he would have lost. There would have been a greater loss for him.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. But because it's Christianity, let's be real, he's going to get away scot-free.
Yeah. Why do you feel that way, though?
I mean, the way I feel that way because the more I'm paying attention to certain things and the more that I'm talking with people, we're moving to a post-Christian society. Right. We've actually been in it for a while, if I'm going to be honest. Right. And because we're in a post-Christian society, no one really cares about Christianity or God anymore. And so we find ourselves in this weird thing where it's like we as Christians should be very boldly standing for Christ, for God. You know, it's like, hey, this is our faith. Yeah. But we're the one group of people that everyone wants to shut down and shut up. Mm-hmm. And honestly, it bothers me how effective it is in our society. It really is effective for how easy it is Christians do sit down and shut up.
Is it because we're overly sensitive to certain things that we just don't have a voice?
I'm going to be a little controversial. Shocker. I'm getting a little controversial.
Don't lose your job, bro.
I'm trying to think how should I word this where I'm not going to get in trouble.
So Pastor Will, you know.
Okay, this is a thought experiment. This is not actively review.
Our disclaimer in case Pastor Will's watching.
I love you, bro. He knows. We talk about this stuff all the time.
Your protege. This is your protege. This is not.
So. Yes, I think we Christians in America are facing a lot, but we haven't really faced real persecution in a long time.
Right.
Because let's be real, I don't see Christians being strung up and hung from light poles.
Right. Or decapitated for
you're killed on the spot.
Right.
We're not there. Mm-hmm. Do I think that could potentially happen? Not really. But it's been a long time since we've been in it. since we've been there, and so it's very easy for us just to be like, okay, turn around, and then continue going on with lives, pretend it didn't happen. So which is why, like, in this post-Christian society, the fact that our voices are being pushed to the back, and it's like, no. Like, for me, being a middle-class white boy, you know, who believes in God, like, I'm now the one. I'm the type of voice that no one wants to hear from.
Right. Especially now that you're given a platform and you're preaching and you're ministering.
Oh yeah, no one could care
a flock of people
less about what I say.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And do you feel like because of the oversensitive gauge that we're in society, like anything that a Christian, like a well anchored Christian based individual would say will rub people the wrong way and will ruffle some feathers because they're so overtly sensitive that we can't say that a man has a role and a woman has a role, because that now all of a sudden we're bigots and we're insensitive to gender identity, because that's becoming a thing. You know, we're living in a society that men are becoming women and women are playing roles, man roles. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, is it something that is hard for us as Christians to navigate through, or is it something that we should just be loud and unapologetic regardless of the backlash? Or should we just be quiet? You can keep it real.
I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's tough. Because even though you have Christianity as your faith, there also might be a different type of cultural thing that goes along with what women should do, what men should do.
Right.
Like, I was watching this show where, like, this married couple, the husband was, like, straight up from Africa. Okay?
Was this on Netflix?
No. But now he's coming to America. He's here now. Okay? Now he's married to an American woman. Yeah. But, you know, she may do certain things and he, like, just feels like, no, why are you doing that? That's what a man should be doing. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, and it's like, well, I wasn't raised that way. Like, I just, like, if this is here, then I can, it's nothing for me to pick up and do it. Right. So they, like, clash heads with that. So if you have something like that, but then you have this Christian faith, like, that can be the deciding factor of whether you just don't say anything, you do say something, or whatever the case is.
Yeah, it's like, it seems like there's no safe, like, place where you can even joke about stuff because people get offended so easily.
You can't say something because you do too much. You can't not say something because you ain't doing enough.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and like even in today's society, because we were talking about this off camera about, like, comedians, like the Dave Chappelle show could never survive in today's time.
No,
like, not on television.
No one would greenlight that ever.
Do you guys remember The Mind of Mencia?
Oh,
remember that show? Gosh. That show was like, if you look back, people be like, "That's racist," but back then we were laughing our butt off.
Funny, yeah.
It was so funny,
and no one cares.
He called like people of Latin ethnicity beaners. Like, I'm a beaner. And, like, if you call someone a beaner now, like, that's...
But anytime you say something these days, it's like that community of people is, like, ready to attack you because you said something. But it's like, you have to understand certain things are for just laughter or certain, like, it's not all to be taken to heart like that.
I think it's difficult for people in that industry to have a thriving career because...
comedians.
Yeah, like in the entertainment industry, I feel like if you're a comic and you come from a comic background and you came from, like, stand-up improv and now you are crossing over to the Hollywood platforms, you can't joke anymore. Like, the joke stops when you are part of the elites. And I think that's what, Cat Williams experienced.
And stuff.
Right, like... That's what Cat Williams experienced. I think Joe, as recent as the Joe Coy thing, the Golden Globes was 2 weekends ago. And now there's, like, backlash and people are reacting to his quote unquote tasteless jokes. Like, he was joking about everybody. I mean, like, he wasn't, I don't feel like he was nitpicking on anybody. He picked on Taylor Swift, for crying out loud. Like, Taylor Swift has become the butt of jokes because she's dating a very famous Super Bowl champion by the name of...
that famous Super Bowl champion is dating Taylor Swift. Get it right.
All right, so who's more famous, Taylor Swift or Kelsey?
Okay. Yes. In the whole world, Taylor Swift.
Right.
There's no question.
Okay.
That there's a whole thing that there's a whole joke that she's the reason he got put on the map, but it's like, no, he was a very well-known football player long before Taylor Swift came on the scene with him.
So are you a Kelsey fan?
I am I can't say that. I'm not the biggest fan of Taylor Swift.
But Travis Kelce, you think he's...
I think he's a great football player.
Yeah, okay.
I think he's great. I think he's unfortunately falling to the Taylor effect, where his game has declined since they've really been together. Right. Yes, he's stepped this, certain games he's been getting better and better, but then now it's kind of like, oh, you're kind of just playing average now. Well, that and the Chiefs have been not playing well at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, take that with a grain of salt, America.
Yeah, and I think the Chiefs are playing next week, so we'll see how they do next week.
The Dolphins aren't playing.
But speaking of Taylor Swift and all these people, she was present at the Golden Globes, and Joe Coy, I can't say his name, Joe Coy, had said some things about Taylor. Taylor didn't laugh. The camera panned over to Taylor's reaction. And
They're so petty when they do
and she didn't laugh, so it went on the internet, and now all of a sudden Joe Coy's a bigot. And that's kind of like the crazy narratives that can spiral out of control, and I'm sure Joe Coy had no intentions to making that a
but people used to do that all the time,
viral thing.
Hosting, or like when the show was coming on, the award ceremony was coming on, they make a couple of jokes about some people. Like that was like a normal thing.
Yeah, because
that was like to be expected.
Yeah, because I remember when Chris Rock had hosted an award show, and he was roasting everybody,
every single person. And Monique used to do it on BET. She used to roast people when she first came. Like, people normally do that. It's not like you're having an intimate conversation with a few people, or a one-on-one conversation with someone, and you say something that's like out of control and offensive or insensitive. I'm a comedian. I'm telling a joke. Like, this is my life. Like, this is what I do. It
would have to be blatantly disrespect to actually be in the newspaper or headlines, because there's no more newspaper. There's just TikTok and the Shade Room. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, like, the headlines are worthy of being headlines if it's like a blatant disrespect and the line that is drawn is crossed.
You mean the slap heard around the world?
Oh my God, the Will Smith thing? That was crazy. Yeah. We're not going to talk about that.
No.
But here's what we're going to talk about. So Kevin Hart weighs in on the Joe Coy thing. We're going to react to his reaction, and then we're going to move on to the conversations that are going to be had. Did we check the camera?
I forgot.
Okay.
I'll go fix it.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and...
insert random picture here.
Yeah. So let's see if I could pull it up real quick, because I had it on. No, that's not it. That's Joe Budden. We're not going to listen to Joe Budden. Shout outs to Joe. Here it is.
Airborne.
So for you YouTube viewers, sorry for the camera. We forgot.
I am absolutely sorry. I forgot because I was enjoying the conversation too much.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
And the Golden Globes. And what is your reaction? I mean, it seems like comedians, more than anyone, are under such a microscope. It's like, especially from social media. But I want to know your reaction to that. And then I want to know your reaction to him kind of during the middle of the show being like, hey, I just got this gig.
I have no reaction to it. Joe Coy is a phenomenal comedian. He sells out arenas everywhere. And that's for a reason. He has a following. He has a fan base. That's a tough room.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's an easy room. It's an industry room.
It's a jaded room.
It's an industry industry room where the expectation is one of like consequence. So everybody's on edge about what are you going to say about me. So it's not one that that's attached to immediate laughter. So I think the comics that have partaken and have had success is because they have a nice understanding of the industry and the personnel. So we have relationships like Tina Fey, Amy. You know, when you go to Ricky Gervais, you know, you can go down a list of the comics that have hosted and had success. They have relationships. They've been embedded in that environment for quite some time. So there's a lot of trickery that goes into playing it, and I think the experience will play a lot. They'll play a big part in success. But Joe's fine. If I'm Joe, I don't let it get to me. Let it slide off of your back. You're fine. You'll be fine. Yes. You're a talented, successful comic.
By the way, everyone's talking about him, so there's
it's a good thing.
Yeah,
you know who Joe Coy is now.
Yeah, I'm still ready for.
So basically, what Kevin Hart is saying is that maybe if Joe Coy had done his homework a little bit better, he would have read the room a little better. But I still feel that a comic who is a comedian, who's known to talk about culture and people in the culture and people in the entertainment industry, should have some slack. Like, at the end of the day, y'all know who Joe Coy is. He has countless of Netflix specials by now. He used to work for Chelsea Handler. He actually, I think he was a writer for Chelsea Handler in the Chelsea Handler show. So I'm just like, yeah, I mean, Kevin Hart.
I agree. I don't think he said anything wrong, though.
Yeah, I don't think, like, for those that don't know, like, you guys can even look on some clips. Some of these jokes that Joe Coy made during the time that he was hosting the Golden Globes last weekend, I didn't think he went too far. I mean, yeah, he made fun of Taylor Swift. That's like America's baby now.
Who doesn't make fun of Taylor Swift?
So I'm just like, but yeah, I think that we do live in a society where people do tend to walk on eggshells for the sake of not trying to get canceled and stuff like that. So yeah, I just thought that was very interesting. It was pretty fascinating stuff. But if we are ready to talk about sensitive people, no, I'm kidding.
Don't talk about me that way.
So last week I really wanted to pose this question so we can have some conversation, and then we'll segue through some other stuff. But it all revolves around relational things that we experience, whether we are in relationships in business, relationships at church, or the biggest covenantal relationship, and that's the marriage, the matrimony relationships, and all relationships, including entrepreneurial, business, church relationships, friendships, family relationships, and marriages. It all comes with trials and tribulations, and how we navigate through that can be pretty turbulent when you're dealing with people, because essentially we're dealing with people with emotions, with different triggers, different traumas, and different walks of life. And then when you grab two people or more people together, there's going to be some friction. There's going to be some conflict. How we manage those crises or those conflicts is up to us to navigate through. But also, as Christians, I think we are to always fall back on what the Word says, how the Holy Spirit leads you, how you set aside your internal biases and go about what God says. And that's a very, very tricky, how should I word it? That's a really tricky boat to paddle, because the boat can get rocked, and sometimes you can go overboard and you find yourself drowning in your misery or in your emotions or what have you. So I guess I'll start first with my experiences with just relationships in general. I feel that the more that I know myself and gotten to know who I am will make it easier for me to be empathetic to the person that I'm dealing with or doing life with. So whenever there is a conflict, I can see myself in it, and I can call a spade and say, you know what, you're right. I did something wrong, or I said something wrong that might have triggered you, because I know that if you had said something that would triggered me, I will feel kind of way. And then we can engage in dialogue there. But before, when I didn't know that, I always felt like I was attacked, and though it may feel like an attack, your human reaction is to fight back and rebuttal back, and then it just becomes a shout bat, and then you fight. You may say some things that you may regret later on, because I've been there. So I believe that knowing yourself more, and obviously I've gone to know myself better through therapy. That's why I always sit here and I always advocate that therapy is a real thing. It does help you with your day-to-day affairs, with your battles, with relationships and stuff like that. And I do feel that that is a resource that is so crucial for you to have, because then you can find yourself putting out fires when there is conflicts in your relationships. So that's kind of like where I'm at with that. I don't know if you guys want to jump in.
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Because I'm a gentleman. Because I was raised right.
Look at you, being a gentleman.
Relationships, I feel like with any relationship, I mean, I agree with what you said.
I'm sorry, that's a giant ring. I'm like being blinded by how pretty that thing is. That is massive. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt this deep moment, but god dang.
Oh my gosh. But
sorry, keep going.
Yeah, I just feel like you have to establish what like your needs are and what your expectations in any relationship is, whether it's a friendship, a relationship with a significant other, whatever your expectations are going into it, or whatever your yeses or nos are, or this is my limit, this is what I will accept or what I won't accept. You have to know that, and those, I feel like boundaries and those rules have to be established in order for you not to like, because you don't want to like not have those established and just have everything just in disarray, and then later on down the line you're looking like, how did I get here? Well, sweetheart, you never, that's just what you chose to accept. You never established what you actually needed, what you need, what works for you. So knowing yourself, knowing what you need or what you're trying to get out, or how much you're willing to pour into a relationship, I think knowing those things are very important.
Absolutely. And also, if we're talking about, aside from friendships, and we'll circle back and talk about friendships, because a lot of people do ask and do DM me about friendships, how to navigate through friendships, how to keep a good friendship going and things like that. We'll circle back with friendship. But as far as romantic friendships, because I know the dating scene has become very robust and it's been difficult for people to navigate through trying to be a single Christian and be a Christian of value, of high value, of integrity and character in a world that is so hypersexualized and everybody's sleeping with everybody. The hookup culture is so in your face, and so
throwing baddies across your timeline.
You know what I'm saying? So it's difficult. It's definitely difficult. So I feel you guys. I feel you, and gals too. But when it comes to romantic relationships, I think like the non-negotiable is your faith. If you guys are not evenly yoked with your ideologies, you're going to be setting yourself up for failure. I speak it from experience. Prior to me getting into an actual Christian relationship, I used to try to dabble in other theisms, if I can use that word. And I would be dating a girl that wasn't a Christian but was very spiritual, or a girl that was very modern culture and stuff like that. And I found myself like, you know, playing a tug of war when it came to theology, when it came to ideologies, and when it came to moral compass conversations, because morality is something that can be skewed when you don't have a Christian faith background. And so it becomes very difficult. And I obviously learned the hard way that when you're unevenly yoked when it comes to that, it's going to be, you're literally, I felt like I was on a canoe and just rowing like towards the current, against the current.
You can also like get sucked out of your own faith.
That's true.
If you're like this faith-driven person, or okay, I go to church, or I'm walking with God, but then you're just like out here all willy-nilly, just dating, Frank,
a worldly person.
Yeah, just a modern person that's not really. I don't really go to okay, I don't really go to church. I think God is real, but I don't really go to church. You can find yourself starting to do things and behave and just like slowly getting sucked away from what you know.
Right.
And then you can get lost, and then you get so lost at a certain point, you can snap out of it and be like, oh, something is missing here. Like you find your relationship is not working. What's missing is you need to leave that relationship and go back to where you came from, and to go back with God.
Yeah, because I think when you are living a life for the Lord and then you start dating someone that's living a life for the world, it becomes very problematic for you. And one or two things will happen. I think Tyler will agree that one or two things will happen. Either you're going to lead that person to Christ, or they're going to lead you to the world. Yeah. And sometimes...
It's usually option 2.
Yes.
You're absolutely
You're out there clubbing, throwing them dollars,
every day, just ready to hunch every 5 seconds, and
Yes. So what Tyler just echoed is absolutely true, because that was my truth years ago, where I was, all on fire with my faith and my church at the time, and all on fire for the Lord. And then I meet a baddie, and she's not on fire for the Lord. She's on fire for the world, and she wants to do worldly things. And I fall into that trap. Well, I can change her, and I can take her to church.
Famous last words. And same thing as hold my beer.
Yeah.
Watch this. Are you recording?
Yeah.
It's all the same level.
Yep. Yeah. So what would be like words of encouragement for guys or gals that struggle with that, with the world and being in a worldly relationship?
I just have a single question. What's your final goal?
Right.
Yeah.
What's your final goal? Seriously, we live in such a short-sighted, timeline-driven, culture that when I sit there and I scroll through this, it's like, yo, baby girl, why are you wearing that? Yo, what are you doing? Like, why are you saying that? Like, we're all in it for the short term, and yet none of us can, for whatever reason, a lot of us have this issue of just thinking long term. Like, can I think beyond next week?
Yeah.
Like, can I think beyond the next Instagram post? Am I thinking beyond the trying to get like this many likes within a certain time period? Right. Because honestly, I mean, I'll stand by it. Like, we're supposed to be living not for a wedding, but for marriage. And I will stand by this. We have totally lost track and sacrificed the sanctity of marriage for the short-term pleasures.
Yeah.
110%. And, granted, yes, I'm not married yet. But I mean, it's like, I'm already thinking, all right, how is my marriage going to go? How healthy are we going to be? Like, is everyone going to see that we're healthy? But more importantly, like, how is God viewing our marriage? Are we putting Him first in our decisions? Like, are we making this decision together as a team? Like these are the thoughts that I think about almost on the daily at this point. I think about all the time, because Marla's best friend is getting married. Like, I mean, we're about to start like marriage prep. So like, this is something that I can't escape from my personal brain.
Right.
It's on my head. It's on my. I can't get it out. Like, it's literally like almost in a weird way. Like, I'm seeing the entire world through this like one lens now, and it all comes back to how really just. Am I focused on that vertical relationship to make sure everything's in order, or am I still just trying to look around and see if I can make it all work?
Right.
And unfortunately, too many of us do like.
Yeah.
right? Like trying to look around for like the immediate, and we sacrifice that, and we sacrifice that vertical, like, because it's like, oh man, I want to be the next level. Like, all right, you want to know the ultimate level? Marriage is the ultimate level, right? It's a beautiful representation of God's love for us and how Jesus loves the church. But more importantly, it's like how Christ loves us on an individual level. And we have absolutely sacrificed that on the altar of likes and posts and the short term and the filters and the insert whatever you want. Clubs, drugs, women, men, whatever. Can't leave the girls and the guys out. Just gotta cover all my bases.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
I want someone to look at me and goes, based. That's what I want to hear. But yes,
my mentor had mentioned something along the lines, and I think what's his name? Our boy from the Daily Wire.
Ben Shapiro?
No, not the other guy.
Matt Walsh.
Matt Walsh.
My twin, apparently.
Yeah, he looks like Matt Walsh. But anyway,
not at all.
And my mentor actually echoed this. We live in a society now, even in the Christian camps, right, that they look at the wedding as the finish line rather than the starting point.
Yeah.
I'm going to repeat that one more time. They look at the wedding night as the finish line and not the starting point.
Fun fact, there's a marriage beyond that day.
Yes. So I think that because we put so much emphasis on the courting, on the dating, and the engagement, and we put so much emphasis on the dating life and the courting, and the courting is beautiful. Like you've been there. I'm currently there. The courting is a beautiful thing because you're getting to know the person. You're doing life with that person. You are trying to figure them out, and you're trying to see what their likes and dislikes, and going out to these new places together, creating these new memories together. And I'm not anti that. However, I think that a lot of us, we put so much emphasis on the courtship, on the dating life, and what the dating life looked like, and what the engagement looked like. And then when you finally get to the wedding day, it's like you put your gloves down and you no longer want to fight for each other.
Right.
It's like, okay, we're here. And then you forget that there's a life after marriage, and then there's a life that you need to walk. I've never walked it, but I've hung around other married couples that tell me this all the time. It's like you get to know who you really are with once you start cohabiting and knowing the routines, knowing like essentially when you're living with someone for such a period of time, you're going to pick up on things. You're going to see the ugly side of them 24/7. You don't have the luxury of like, oh, I'll see them later because I'm going to go in my little cubby hole in my little apartment, and I'm going to be fine. I'll see him tomorrow or in a couple of days.
Right.
So it's like, I think because we put so much emphasis on the now, like, A, we're dating, A, we're courting, or whatever the case may be, that, yeah, I think we should be entering into a committed relationship with purpose and with the end goal being a marriage, especially if you're calling yourself a Christian and you're dating as a Christian and you're dating other Christian people. I think the end goal at the end of the day, like Tyler said, what is your end goal? The end goal biblically is a covenantal engagement that goes into a marriage, and that you're going to lead a married life and live according to what the Word of God says when you are in covenant with one another. A lot of us fail because we actually put our...
Speaking of failing.
We put our gloves down, and sometimes we just get too complacent, or we sometimes get into these fights or these disputes, and then we start because I've seen this happen. Like, I've seen couples fight and they bring up like stuff that happened years ago, and they bring up the past. And I don't think it's fair for either party to bring up the past over something that's currently happening in real time. And it is difficult because it, at the end of the day, we're two different people that are walking a life that is going to look ugly, beautiful, all of the above, and somehow we have to learn how to be great crisis managers, because life is full of crisis, whether it be a big crisis, little crisis, but life be lifing. And when you're doing life with another person, I think it's more how are we going to defuse it or de-escalate the situation.
I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
No, like what he did. I wanted to put my foot up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, listen. Listen, you can. We embrace it.
I wanted to do that.
There you go.
It's only because I have longer legs. He did.
Yeah.
No, actually, my friend Madison, very spiritual, very godly woman, married to my good friend Dylan. Done them for years. She kept saying something in the past couple months that's stuck with me, and because they've been married for a number of years now. She goes, you want the ultimate sanctification, get married. Marriage is she's like, marriage is some of the ultimate sanctification, because it's like you have to address things that you never thought you would have to address before, and you have to face certain things with this person. And she's so funny. She goes, I love you so much, I will die for you, but I can't stand your face right now. I need to go into a separate room and just cool off for a second. Yeah. Right. But it was such a real and raw view of like, hey, like, yes, like these things happen. Yeah. Right. You have two imperfect people living on top of each other. Right. Like this stuff is going to happen. Right. Which is, and I talk with Will about this all the time, but we're about to start a marriage prep course that's literally called Saving Your Marriage Before It Begins. Yeah. And it's an acronym for symbol. No, not like that. I don't think it's like that. No. Yeah. But really, like that almost should be a mentality. It's like, all right, well, I know the goal is marriage. I want to have we want to have a family. We want to be successful. Yeah. The D word is not even in our dictionary. Yeah. And I'm not talking about damnation. I'll let you all figure it out which one that is. But that really should almost be our mentality, because, again, we've lost that drive to keep it real. We've lost that drive to stick it out. Almost in a weird way, it's like, you know how, like, you know, things in America used to be, like, handmade, like, super amazing quality, and now everything's like a piece of crap. It's like the quality of the product has disintegrated. Yeah. Right? It's like, oh, you know, it's like I can buy, it's like, oh, my toaster broke, I can go get another $20 toaster off Amazon, right? But like, man, like there are people who like, you know, worked years to figure out how to make the perfect toaster that like literally just lasts forever and just won't die. Yeah. Right? Like even woodworks. Like my grandfather like works with wood, and he made my brother and my sister's bed. Yo, those beds are gonna last forever because the craftsmanship and the intentionality and the integrity of what he did and the hard work they put into it. Like, I mean, because he even had to teach himself how to do all these other things, but he's like, yo, like this is an investment for him. And now it's come out, and we've talked about it. It's like, yo, whenever we get married and like we get a bed, it's like, yo, we're making Grandpa, we need you to make our bed frame for us. Right. Like because we know the quality. Yeah. Right. And like that's almost in a weird way how we can and should view our relationships of like, hey, I want to have the quality, the great quality, the thing that's going to last forever, that has the investment, that has, you know, the backing of it, that has like, you know, I don't want to say experimentation, but it's like you've been the journey. You seek to learn. You always are searching out for like, how can I make this better? Right, because I think marriage is supposed to be hard.
Marriage is definitely hard.
But I think that hookup culture and just culture in general devalued matrimony. It's not
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not what you just articulated. Like marriage, when our grandparents were growing up, it was such a valuable, like beautiful, like handcrafted thing. Now it's been devalued because
people don't even last.
Right. Yeah.
For like more than like 3 years.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
So you're the only
the only married one.
Yeah, you're the only married one.
Let me tell you guys something. Okay. Let me tell you something.
Not fireman Marshall.
Oh my God.
Bruh.
See, that was real comedy. They need to bring like stuff like that back. But no, marriage is like
Fire Marshal Bill for those people that don't know what we're laughing at.
YouTube it.
YouTube Fire Marshal Bill. It was Jim Carrey's old character from In Living Color.
Oh, I love In Living Color.
Yeah.
Dang, bring it back.
Bring it back.
But
Hallelujah.
marriage, huh?
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Hallelujah. But marriage is super duper hard.
I was at your wedding.
Like what your friend said, it's like you're gonna be like going through things with this person and experiencing different journeys and things that you didn't even know. I did not ask for this. I did not sign up for this. I wasn't ready for this. There's no manual for this. There's no right or wrong for this. It's just like literally, it's just you, that person. But I feel like you always have to have like God in the center of that. Without, it's going to be total destruction. And sometimes there are things that happen between people who are in marriages or people who are leading towards marriage, like a serious relationship that can seem like very much destruction. But you have to know that it's not destruction. It may be a rebuild. Yeah. And that can also be grounds for people, just deterring away from their religion or their faith and saying, fuck that, I'm going somewhere. Like, this must not be God. Because God said that this is the vow that we made before him, and he's always going to cover us and watch over us, and he'll never abandon me, leave me, forsake me. But you have me here dealing with this. What happened? Where are you? Yeah. And you can just jump ship. It can be that easy. But the counseling beforehand is a must. Preparation. Yeah.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
The counseling beforehand is a must. It's definitely a great preparation, but I do feel like sometimes you may even need you have to just apply those things. You can't just go to counseling and be like, all right, I did it so that we can get married. Right. Those are actually tools that you need to utilize. Yeah. You can use them. They will bring you a long way. And past relationships or past marriage, gotta ring on it twice, but
I can't with you.
But no,
dead.
But no, in past marriage, it was just when things got hard or things got rocky, it was just we're just gonna go toe to toe and fight, and I'm gonna go run away and run off and do my own thing, and that's just what it was. But also, we didn't have God in the center of our relationship. I've already told you and expressed to you before that with Rob, God is what actually drew me towards him. Right. Because I wasn't even walking that walk. I was just the modern
Robert was more the leader.
He was more the spiritual person.
Yeah, he was a spiritual leader before.
And it's okay, great. Yeah, I believe
shouts to Rob, because Rob was on the pod a year ago, actually. He was on the pod, so shouts to Rob.
Yeah, but I'm just sure, I believe in God, and I got baptized when I was 7. But I wasn't
That's really so Catholic of you.
Yeah, I wasn't really trying to get to know him and have this intimate, personal relationship with him and know that he is my father. I was never doing that. Right. Now, I'm doing more in my 38 years of life than I have ever done any other
I'm sorry, you were 38? Mm-hmm. Girl, you don't look a day over 27.
Thanks. But no, this is more I'm still fresh in my spiritual journey. There's a lot that I want to explore and do. Yeah. But there's also a lot that I'm implementing. But it's just literally God is my best friend. Yeah. Honestly.
And so you mentioned the premarital counseling to prepare you for marriage. How was that walk with you? Was it because it must have been
with
foreign?
The pastor. And you heard Pastor Chris. He
Pastor
was
Chris
awesome.
Pastor
Chris is
legit. Pastor Chris, he's very oily. He got that oil on him, bro. He has the anointing on him. You can feel it. So shouts to Pastor Chris.
Shouts to Pastor Chris. Yeah. But him and his wife, Miss Colleen.
I have no idea who you're talking about. So
Pastor Chris at Bow Down Church.
At Bow Down Church in West Palm Beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he ordained us. He also him and his wife
officiated your wedding too. Yeah. And he had such a beautiful monologue.
He really did.
I was crying, bro. I ain't even gonna lie.
It was
I was in my feelings, bro.
He was giving my guests gems. Yo, these are the gems that you need to take with you when you're trying to pursue marriage. But for reals, I love them. They helped us a lot. There was a lot that came out that was regurgitated, and a lot that we had to get over. A lot of tools that we learned. I pick up the phone today, and I'll call Miss Colleen, oh my gosh, this is what Robert's doing, and I don't know what do I do? What do I say to God? And she'll just let's just pray really quick, and then they'll give me a scripture. Before I came here today, I was kind of in my feels, and I was just I reached out to you. You have to have a community too, like a community that backs you. That is,
you see,
walking
it's just
that
not me
same
saying
walk.
It's weird. Don't
That
we
is
just
walking
preach about
that
that
same
every
walk.
week? So strange.
So yeah, like
I'm done.
I reached out to
I'm signing off.
someone else, Miss Leanne. I love her so much. She was there at my baptism, but I was like, Miss Leanne, I feel like I need something. Like, do you have a scripture, a message, something that you can send me, a passage that I can read right now, like for anxiety? I'm feeling very anxious, and like, but sometimes you need that village, like that community of people who are walking the same walk and having the same faith to just help like build you.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
You really need that in a marriage, in a friendship, in anything. Even if you're walking this walk by yourself, but you ultimately want to be in like a serious, committed relationship. You do need a community of people.
And I love the fact that you have another married couple walking with you, because a lot of us because I don't know if it's ego, I don't know if it's because you're an introvert or you're just shy or you don't want to share, but it is such a, like, for me, it's such a cheat code. If you're a young Christian couple that just got married and you don't have that elder Christian, couple that have been married a couple years, that's been in the trenches.
Yeah, that can give you the tea.
That can give you the tea and the insight and all these tools that can help you navigate through your marriage life. Y'all need to find one. I know that I got one in mind when I get married. Like I already got like 2 couples actually that I have in mind that I want to walk with and like pick their brain. You know what I'm saying? So that's like such a great thing that you said that you have someone that you literally have on speed dial and be like, yo, I'm kind of going through this. I'm trying to go to the Lord, but I'm not feeling it. I just need somebody.
It can even be like your peers. Like you have to be mindful of like the people that you have around you and in your circle. Like, doesn't mean that you have to be like, like totally F off everybody, but like those who are like really, really close to you in your inner, like you have to be mindful of them. Like, I'm still stuck in this season that I did not ask for. But while enduring this, I've had like people that will like throw the faith in my ear. Like Asha, she's walking this walk again. Brittany, like she's so like holy, and like,
and she has a beautiful family.
She has a beautiful family, and she just like, those people like are uplifting and they bring you back to where you need to be. Not like, like you can be going through things. You might call your homegirl. I'm like, yeah, girl, because F him, because I don't even know why he did. Like, why didn't he? That's not really what you need to hear. And I'm kind of like married, so I can't just be like, you know what I'm saying? But like, transparency. I once was in a place where I had everything. You know how those people have those posts that say how it started versus how it's going? Right now, my life is backwards. My how it's going is like how it's going is like here. How it started was here.
On a high.
And, it was on a high.
And now you're on a low.
And now I'm on a low. Like I had everything. Like I had gotten engaged and I got married and I had got a new job. And then I had got certified. And like all these blessings were happening. Then we tried to, the baby thing with IVF, and it was like, oh my gosh, all of these, good things. And then boom, job, I'm kind of in a sticky situation with my job because of my husband or who he is, right? So although I'm still thankful that I have a paycheck and I still have that job, I'm like on this investigation because your husband was an offender.
Right. Yeah, he has a past. Right.
Yeah. Right. So it's like that.
And he shared his past, which is a powerful story that he shared on the podcast.
Yeah. Shameless plug. Go back and watch it.
Yeah, go back and watch that. That was really a good episode.
It centers back to him. Then it's like, the whole thing where I was pregnant. I did have the baby. I lost the baby. Then we've been trying and nothing's happening. Right. So now we're doing the IVF.
Right.
So it's like, okay, we're going to tap into your health now. We're going to tap into that. So you've tapped into my job. You've tapped into my health. What's left? Now you're going to tap into my marriage.
Yeah.
And a monkey wrench has been thrown at us while we're dealing with all of this. Me, work, like this baby, like all of this. Now we found out that my husband has a child. And it was just like, if I could have reached up and chin checked God right then and there, like I probably would have chin checked him right there. He probably would have hit me with a 2-piece back, but I would have just chin checked him right there. Like, you don't know how devastating that was to me. Like, when people say like everybody has an experience or everybody has something in this life that will break them all the way down. Like what I'm going through right now is the worst. Like this has broken me all the way down.
Because recently you just celebrated your 1 year, correct?
Just celebrated my 1 year.
Well, 1 year anniversary being married. I was actually at your wedding. Beautiful, as I mentioned before.
Yes, I thought the flowers were wonderful as well.
Yeah. I wasn't there. But yeah, so that, I mean, my heart goes out to you. I mean, you are definitely showing bravery, just even sharing this with us and being vulnerable with it. But if you want to dive in a little bit more of like how you what you did or how it was to walk through that once you found out that news, that bombshell of a news.
Well, first of all, I'm still walking through it. I'm still under investigation at work. I don't even know what this investigation details. All that I know is, I guess it's improper conduct, because I did and I didn't say anything. Like, I did say, hey, what do you do if you have someone who's on papers?
Okay.
And there's like a whole, work. There's a procedure for it. So I guess according to them, I didn't follow the procedure the proper way. And it was initially something that was like, just sign this paper. We know he's your husband. You have a life outside of here. Right. And we'll move forward. But that didn't happen. It got escalated. And now it's just like, I worked so hard. Yeah. I got sprayed in the face. Yeah, I remember. And now I just have to like kick back and do nothing. Like I feel so inadequate. I feel like what's my existence? What is my purpose? What am I actually doing? I'm waking up every day just to sit here and do nothing. I'm not even doing what I worked hard for. Right. So there's that. And then when I found out the news about like that he has a kid, my first thing, like, I literally fell to my knees and I was like, I'm finna kill myself. But I'm sorry to interrupt, but you found out, or you and Robert found out together? He knew before me. He did the lay work to find out before he told me. And then he told you. And he waited and told me. Okay. So it was just like, hey, I gotta tell you something. And how long did he know before he told you? He knew for like 2 weeks, but like... Okay, at least he didn't wait a year. Yeah, he knew for like, he knew for like 2 weeks. And I guess he was like, in his mind, he was like, I'm struggling because I have to tell you this. But like, when he works, he's not really here. He works all over the place. So he's like, I can't call and tell you this over the phone. You gotta wait till he gets home. Like,
that's an in-person conversation.
Yeah, like I have to see her. And there's no way for me to like break this easily. So he just like randomly said it. And at first I was like, oh, you're joking? Like, okay, that's not funny. Yeah. But then he was like, no, I'm serious. Like, and I just like really, and we were in the middle of like moving and everything. Wow. And I was like, I'm about to just kill myself because what's next? Yeah. Like, what else? What's next? What's next? Just tell me what else is next. How much more can you try to like break me down? You gave me everything in one instance and then you took everything away in the next instance. And I like had a breakdown. The next day that's when I reached out to Miss Colleen and Pastor Chris, and I kind of like explained to them like, I don't even know what I'm doing here. Like I'm just like a zombie right now. Yeah. And if you know Rob, you know him, he's like not confrontational. Because of everything that he's gone through, he's more like even keeled. He bites the bullet and he's like, I'm just strapping on my boots and I'm ready to go. Yeah. Like that's how he took it. Like, this is not what I wanted, but I'm embracing it. Yeah. Whereas me, I'm like, what? Yeah, why is this happening? I'm like, why is this happening? Why did this happen to me? Why did this have to transpire? God, what is the message? And especially when you guys been trying to have a baby of your own, that is devastating news. It really is. And I just remember that night I called Asha and she was like, I'm coming over. And she came over in like 2.5 seconds. Asha's a real one. Yeah. And we sat outside and I was like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand it. What is the lesson that I'm supposed to learn from this? Like, what is God trying to tell me? Like, what does he want me to do? Like, I don't even know. Like, this is not even my lesson. Like, I didn't do anything wrong, and all of these things are happening to me because of this person. Like, all of his sins are coming back on me to have to deal with. And like, it's just like, it was like really, 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 really a lot. And she was just like, you know what? You remind me of Job. And I was like, And then she was like, yeah, you remind me of Job. Because I started talking like this crazy stuff, like, you know what? I don't believe in God anymore. Like, I started like, talking like that. She was like, whoa, wait. She was like, it's not his fault.
Right.
Like, this is not his fault. This is just some of, Robert's transgressions that have come back. There's nothing that can be hidden. Everything, nothing can be concealed. It's going to come to light. And this is not him punishing you. Like, this is not God punishing you. Like, this is when you actually need to lean into him more.
Amen.
And I was just like, not understanding why she was saying that. I'm like, why are you saying this? No, like, I'm devastated. And then when she said that, like, the next day or two, like, I just sat there and I read the book of Job. And then there was like a movie that came out that was based on Job, a modern day Job. Like, so it wasn't like in BC days. Right. It was more modern.
Right.
But it was very beautiful. And it was like, he was really stripped away from what the reality that he had and taken to a whole nother reality. And he just was patient, and he waited, and he prayed, and he wrote scriptures, and he shared those scriptures with people to give them hope. And he saw little glimpses of light, like, all around, even in this dark place. And and he was just like, he could have given up so easily, even though all of these things were like taken away. And there was one point where he just literally like surrendered and fell to his knees, like, what else do you want me to do? Like, I'm doing everything that I can do. What else do you want me to do to take me away from this? Like, take me away from this season. And that's like, I went and I watched that movie by myself, and I'm like, I'm really him. Because it's like, what else can I do? Like, how much, like, what can I do to be taken away from this? But I'm still in this season. I think the situation, like with work, everything that I told you is still the same. Obviously, the baby's not going anywhere. That's something that's long term. I think that's just a day-to-day thing. It's not something, like, originally in my mind, I was trying to process from 1 to 21 years old in my head and all of the things that were going to transpire.
That's a lot.
I was just thinking so ahead. And it's just like, whoa, slow down.
You gotta take one day at a time.
You have to like process this and take this one day at a time. And it's okay to process it and process it in your own time and heal on your own. No one can force you and tell you you should feel this way or that way. And your husband has to be considerate of you. You guys are a team at the end of the day. And you guys have to work through this and be transparent and communicate and just make sure that, number one, you have God in the center of it. Because if you don't, I don't know how you guys are going to get through it.
Right.
And I was like a wreck, but I literally was just like, everything is out of my control. Like, I no longer have control of anything. It doesn't matter how much work I put in, what I did to get there. Like, I have control of nothing right now. So what I'm going to do is just let go. And just let you lead me to wherever you're taking me. I don't know where you're taking me. But I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna follow. And I feel like now I am in this season, but it's just like, there's no magical way for me to just mysteriously walk out of it. I have to walk through it, but I have to walk through it with him.
Amen.
And that's just it.
Wow.
So, she's preaching next week.
That was a sermon, bro, if I haven't heard one.
I don't know if you noticed, I did not move for like 10 minutes. I'm just like intensely listening. Real quick, from someone who is a product of divorce and more of a broken family, you have no idea how much of a blessing you're going to be to other people. You have no idea the impact that you're going to have on not just your husband's life, but that kid's life and other people's lives because of this terrible situation. I know it doesn't look like it now, Believe me, I get it. I mean, I obviously have not lived through this, but these situations, I always feel like God, like it. You may not need to learn a lesson. This is something that's just like, this is just another weapon that you can use against the devil. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, this is gonna be something that you can use to build the kingdom. This is something you're gonna use to help. I mean, really slay dragons. You're gonna use it to do monumental things because, yeah, it sucks right now. But this builds endurance. This builds calluses. You're going to be growing so much. This I just want to encourage you. Like, you're going to make such a huge impact. Because I feel like this is. I mean, in a weird way, this is just a small footnote.
Yeah.
A small little footnote. They are in the moment with the emotions and everything, but it's like no. There's so much of a story that's going to be told that it's going to be so powerful. Like I think you'll be felt to at least 3 generations. I don't know why I feel like I need to say that.
That's
so I'm leaving. Right.
But I think too, if I could just piggyback what Tyler said, like that is a powerful testimony. You sometimes when you're going through it in real time, it doesn't feel that way. But I do feel that the enemy has tried to derail you from the inception of your life
because he knows how powerful it's going to be.
Yeah, because
he knows it.
Me knowing you a little bit, like I look back at your life when the Jessica that lived in New Jersey that dealt with the things that you dealt with back home, the family structure that you are a product of, the father or the father figure that you had to, endure and deal with and do life with, and then come and circle back around and try to have a relationship with that guy. And so I think that the enemy has tried to really destroy you from the minute that you were able to walk out as a young teenager, as a young adult, as a young mother that you were at the time when you were dealing with that. I think he tried to derail you, destroy you, and keep you off from coming to the Lord. He had you at his grips, and he had you walking a life that was sometimes upside down, sometimes chaotic. You were defined by your past. The devil was reminding you of your past. You're a product of divorce. You got divorced, and then you gave up on love. You didn't really believe in love, and then fast forward to when you met Rob, and then it was like almost like an evolution had to begin, right? An evolution of yourself, like you evolved, because of the things that you endured, the things that you were experiencing, and the memories that you were creating with Robert. Then you get married, and it's a beautiful covenant, it's a beautiful thing. And then the devil's like so ticked off that, man, I didn't get her 13 years ago. I'm gonna get her again now. Let's see what she does. The devil doesn't create things. He doesn't have the capability to create things. He only has the capability to be a disruptor. So because he's not a creator like God is, I think that what God's creating, he wants to disrupt that. And this is for everybody that's listening, like, when we define ourselves as the creation, the best creation that God has ever, made was humans. He created the heavens, the earths, the stars, the universe. He created all of those things. But this best work of art, if you want to call it that, is us. Like, we are his pride and joy. And the devil is mad constantly when his pride and joy is walking a fruitful life. So he wants to disrupt these things. I know that he disrupted a lot of things in Tyler's life, a lot of things in my life, and a lot of things of the viewers and listeners' lives. And I just want to encourage you guys that is listening to Jessica's story, is that the devil is trying to do everything and anything to disrupt what God has you for, to disrupt the purpose that he instilled in you. And I think that your purpose hasn't come to full fruition yet. I think it's still yet to be seen. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he's going to use your story to help other struggling single mothers, other struggling wives that are in turbulent marriages and stuff like that. And I know that, you know, your the season that you wanted to walk into was to conceive and have a baby with your husband. And I know that that's a reality that can be scary for you. But I give you kudos, like props to you, girl, because you are not allowing nothing to, you know, knock you off of the relationship that you have established with God. And I know that it's easy to.
It was so hard.
Yeah.
It was so hard because I felt like, am I just like not worthy to have anything? Like, you're trying to take everything away from me. Literally, like taking everything away from me. The only thing else, just take away the kids that I already have. That's like the only thing that's left for you to take. But it's like, oh, you're not worthy of creating life. You're not worthy of like this marriage. You're not worthy of like just all of these different things. And
that's the enemy that's talking
like
to
I'm just
you.
in my
not
head.
God.
I'm just like, why can't this happen? But you know, after I watched that movie, like when Asha was saying that, and I was reading my Bible, like I started to think like maybe this is not a lesson. Maybe this is him saying, "Girl, sit down and just get closer to me. Come sit on Daddy's lap, and come get to know me a little bit more, because you are the apple of my eye." And so I started like reading. I just like I'm not going like from Genesis to that. Like no, I'm just going like all over, just reading the Bible yet again. Because, you know, I went to a Christian college. Like, I had to do the Bible inside out and take tests on it. But this is like me sitting, actually reading it to absorb it and use it as my weapon.
Something more applicable for you in your life,
And I started doing that. I started, like, journaling to God. Like, you know, I'll read, and sometimes I'll refer to certain scriptures or, like, certain things that he says that makes me feel better. Like, your words are comforting to me. And I just hold keepsake to that and like, no, I am worthy. And matter of fact, Miss Leanne, a woman from my church, like when I ask her for scriptures or just, can you just pray for me today? Or Miss Tanya, or, you know, I went to the women's group, and I have people from my women's group that I text from time to time, or they check in on me, and I'm just like, you know, send me a scripture, and I'll just indulge in that. And you know, with the little app I have on my phone, I just set aside time and do like quiet prayer. Like, these are things that I was not doing before. So that's why I'm like, maybe this is just me getting closer to him.
Isn't it funny how the Bible hits different when you refuse to read it as a textbook versus reading it as something that is applicable to your life? Isn't that funny how when you read your Bible, other than just reading it as a textbook, it tends to read you. And I've been in seasons of my life where I don't look at it as a textbook of texts full of rules and stuff. I just start reading it as like, you know, a story, a letter to me, and how I should be abiding and how I should be living and how I should be leading. And then I find myself like, wow, the Bible's actually reading me. Like, it's not a coincidence that I'm reading a certain scripture in this season of my life, because it starts to, you know, to hit different.
The Bible is a love letter.
Yeah.
That's why so many times Christ said, you are my beloved. You are my beloved, right? Like, who can know someone better than the person you're married to, in a covenant with?
Right.
Who better know you than that person? And the Bible absolutely, like, I mean, throughout the Bible, it's written by people. Yes, the Bible's written by people. Spoiler alert. It's written by people who lived lives just like us. Right. They had feelings like us. You know, their feet hurt. They had heartbreak. They lost a child. They found out they had a child. You know, like, insert whatever possible thing a human can go through, and you can find things in the Bible that you can relate to. 100%. Even if it's not direct related, it's like, hey, like, oh man, this like actually hits home for me. Like, this is something that allows me to,
like the Job story.
It allows me to be able to address and wrestle and contemplate what I'm currently going through. And the best part is like, you know, every single moment is basically, hey, welcome home, my child. I'm bringing you back in. Welcome home. please, like I'm right here. Like my hand is reached out to you. All you have to do is grab it. Just a little bit further.
Like the ET phone.
Just ET phone home.
Yeah. And actually, like the way you Jessica articulated it, bro, like it's like what Jessica echoed was basically you killing your flesh. Because Jessica, in a human perspective, has all reason to be pissed off, have all reason to walk away from the faith. Has
fleshy part of me, yeah.
Yeah, the fleshly part of her has undoubtedly grounds to walk away from her marriage. You know what I'm saying? She has all these fleshly like grounds to walk away from it all, right? Because of the things that happened to her. But the fact that you're so grounded with the community that you're plugged in with the homegirls that you have around you, with the women's group that you have, with the word of God that's implanted in you, that it is a conduit to allow you to kill your flesh. Because those things do put you in a position to kill your flesh. Because your fleshly desires is everything opposite of what the Bible says. Like your fleshly desire is to chin check Rob, to chin check God. You know what I'm saying? To chin check Rob, to walk away.
We've all been there where it's like, yo, God, screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I even told him that. Like, I was, first of all, let me just say, the baby is like almost 2 years old.
Okay.
And I guess, you know, that kind of makes me feel a little bit better knowing like, well, at least you didn't like have a baby on me, because then I don't know. Then that brings it to a
right, because then the timeline would have been mathing. Then the math would have been mathing.
The math is not mathing.
Yeah.
So now what are we doing? Infidelity. Okay.
Right.
So now let's deal with that too.
Yeah.
But
the baby's almost 2.
The baby's almost 2 at this point. So what can I do? But
not slapping the couch.
Yeah. But yeah, what can I do? What were we saying? What were we talking about?
No, just saying that the way that you articulated what you were doing, like talking to your woman's group.
Yes. I literally had like a.
Yeah.
I feel like me and God like fought, like for real. Like maybe like 2 days after I found out, I was like in my car by myself, and I just wanted to scream out loud. So I screamed out loud,
but I feel
like a maniac.
I feel like that's so healthy.
I literally screamed out loud like a maniac.
As crazy and upside down this sounds, I think it's actually a healthy thing for you to wrestle with the Lord.
To go ahead and scream, and I was like, I'm so mad.
If you're not wrestling with the Lord, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, like
boys
it's
and
okay
girls.
to tell him that you're angry.
It's okay that you're angry.
I had to tell him I'm so mad at you.
It's actually
God will not strike you down for cursing him out. Yeah. Fun fact, done it, been
Fun
there.
Fact.
Yeah, like
been there,
felt
and
good,
he wants you to do that because that's what you're experiencing.
Yeah.
You're going to your father, going, Dad, screw you.
Yeah.
Like I'm pissed, and he wants that.
And,
he wants that.
And dare I say, spoiler alert, it's biblical for you to actually wrestle with the Lord because it's in the Bible.
And then grab something to eat and take a nap.
Yeah, seriously. So it's okay to wrestle with the Lord. It's okay to give and tug, if you will.
Oh yeah, listen. It's if this was simply just like, oh, it's straightforward journey, no, it wouldn't be a journey. Right? The best stories in the world are one that's filled with wrenches. And like that's why people watch TV shows, because it's like, oh man, like you're so invested in this one character's life. It's like, oh man, did you watch this? Oh man, that crazy thing happened. But like everything that happens makes it go, like makes the relationship, it makes the importance deeper and better and and more wholesome. And so fun facts for you, for you, maybe to encourage you a little bit.
I'm listening.
A little bit to encourage you a little bit. Okay, so a little bit about my life. I come from a divorce home. So my mom and dad divorced, and then my dad remarried and then when I say my wonderful stepmother, I really truly mean wonderful. She has been, Christine, I love you. She has been a huge blessing. But what also God didn't just bless me with her. He also blessed me with amazing grandparents who have no blood relation to me, none, and they embrace me as their own, and they are huge reasons why I stayed a Christian. Huge reasons. Grandma unfortunately got called home, as you well know. Grandpa's still here, but he's still a big influence in my life. I'm trying to plan a trip to go see him, but we'll get cross that bridge when we get there. But encouragement for you, you know, like even though, yeah, like coming into a family essentially like that can be hard, difficult, and you're just like, yo, this, my God, this is not any which way that, like, I want this, like, I want my own.
This wasn't in the script, bro.
Where is this?
I know, it's like plot twist. Like, what are we doing? You're into plot twist?
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to print out the new scripts. Okay, sorry about that. But my stepmom was kind of handled a very similar situation. I'm not gonna lie, she is one of the most influential people in my life besides my dad. 110%. I give her so much credit. And, you know, I'm not saying, hey, you just need to be the best stepmom ever, but it's like, you know, you have an ability to show God's love to somebody that may not actually receive it. And I'm going to be real. I've lived it out. You have no idea the impact that has. No idea. To this day, I remember certain things that Christine did for me or said to me or encouraged me with. Like, we used to stay up late watching movies. After Dad went to bed, it's just me and her. It's like 2, 3 a.m. talking about life and everything. And I will never want to trade anything for those moments, because even though she wanted kids. My dad didn't want any more kids. And she still remained faithful to my dad, you know, because that was the one thing that almost really kind of ruined them was he didn't want kids, she wanted kids, but eventually she was blessed with 2 more beautiful babies, Addison and Danielle, and they're my brother and sister, and I will gladly take a bullet for them. But they have taught me amazing things. She has taught me amazing things. So, you know, in this moment, yeah, it looks like a crappy time, but I mean, what if my story, my stepmom's story, maybe encourages a little bit? Like, you know, this can be a huge blessing too. Now, you know, what that looks like, God's going to reveal that to you, 110%. Like, God's going to lead you. I hate being cliche, but to it, He can lead you through it, and but he will guide you every step of the way as long as you just lean on Him every single day.
But isn't that so true though? If He leads you to it, He'll get you through it, bro.
You know what? Something that Rob said to me that kind of like, I guess, I don't know, sticks or whatever. Yeah. He said that if you had control, or you already knew how your life was going to go, or you already knew what was going on,
you wouldn't have faith.
What did you need God for?
Yeah, you wouldn't have faith in God. So, yeah, that's so true.
I'm like, you know what? Maybe you're onto something. You might be.
Look at that godly man.
Yeah, you might be.
Still want to punch you in the face. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I still want to chin check you, but you might be onto something.
Yeah,
you might be onto something.
Yeah,
you might be smart. You might be leading up to something.
Wow, that's good. Good stuff,
bro. We almost had a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah, but this was really good.
Jessica, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
That is incredible. You shared that much, because I thought
and you didn't shed a tear. Hey,
I know, right? I told you I'm in a better place.
We actually, no lie, we thought you were going to, so we actually had to search the shop for tissues.
For tissues. So we celebrate you for not shedding a tear.
Oh my gosh!
But again, thank you for sharing that, and I think it's definitely going to help somebody.
And speaking of thank y'all for sticking around for almost 2 hours.
I'm gonna be real. People are gonna listen to this in segments.
I'm gonna clip this up.
It's gonna be in segments.
And if you guys gonna digest this in segments, I'm gonna clip some stuff up so you can watch it on TikTok.
She's on table.
But we love you guys. Yeah, and we just want to encourage you guys, inspire you guys to just live a life that'll bless you, that'll bless others, but ultimately blesses God. This is what this show is all about, to inspire
you. Go boldly
you.
And be blessed.
Yes, to inspire you, equip you, and empower you to live that life that blesses God. So I just want to thank my co-host, Tyler. Thank you, sir, for your input, for your wisdom. Jess, thank you, girl. Thank you, baby girl, for your presence and for your story and for your insight. And we got another one. I think we're 7 away from 100.
Are we really?
I think so. I think this is episode 93.
Crap. 3?
I think it's 93.
Episode.
I think it's 93. I'm almost positive it's 93, bro. Hold on. I'm a.
Well, I was gonna say, You dropped the other one the other day.
Yeah, this is 93. Last week was 92, bro.
Bruh, dude, 100 episodes.
We're 7 away from 100.
Let's go.
But to keep the machine going, please subscribe. If on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment. Instagram, do the same. All the platforms do the same.
Tiki-talkie.
Spotify,
We're going to get you an X eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe for episode 100, we'll send out our first tweet.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and now, this new year, I forgot to mention last week, episodes are being aired every Thursday now because of my schedule being shifted this new season of my life. New episodes every Thursday night at 9:30. No more Wednesday night episodes.
Okay.
Thursday night episodes,
so you have
9:30.
to wait another day.
So this episode, if you're listening to now, happy Thursday.
It's only
or
one
Friday.
Day away. It's only one day away.
It's
only one day away.
So yeah, that's a new thing.
What if I'm listening to this on Tuesday?
Then happy Tuesday, bro. Have a taco.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. All right, guys, we love you. We appreciate you.
Oh, look who's calling me.
Till next time.
Wait, who is calling me?
We're not gonna
spill the tea. Spill the tea.
You guys want to say hi?
Rob.
Yo! Oh.
Rob, we're wrapping up.
You're live, bro!
What's going on, baby?
All right, Rob, you are now on your second episode of the Kingdom Talks podcast because we're still rolling.
Okay.
And we're,
I said, what's up?
what up?
You just told them.
We're gonna
Everyone can hear you.
we're gonna use this time as we're wrapping up a shameless plug to listen to our episode that we did a year ago, and so we can bless someone with your story. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a shameless plug on that episode for people to listen to.
Okay, I like it.
Oh, you talking about when y'all interviewed me?
Yes, I think it was episode 30.
It was early.
It was early on. I mean, you must have been episode 37, 38 around there.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's cold.
It's cool.
He's not here.
All right, my brother, but it was great. It was great hearing your voice, bro. We got to get you back on, hopefully sooner than later.
Definitely.
Yes, sir. All right, my boy. We're gonna wrap up, and then your queen's gonna call you.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
I'll
queen's
call
gonna
you
call you
back.
back.
All right, baby.
All right, bro. We outie. Bye.